The 2015 version of Clutch City wears a beard and looks very much like that man. And of course, his teammates. They've come all the way back, rallying to beat the Los Angeles Clippers in the semifinals and reach their first conference finals since 1997. Kevin McHale, a champion in his own right, a Hall of Famer, celebrating as he led this team back, and they are now headed to the conference finals where Golden State awaits. And we welcome you to Game Time. What an incredible turn of events as the Houston Rockets become the 9th team in NBA history to rally down 3-1 to win a playoff series. And we're going to break it down for you and get you out to Toyota Center and hear from the winners and losers as well. But first things first, don't you think we should have a toast?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kevin
That's
McHale,
right, Kevin.
Rockets.
Rockets.
Here's to you.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
You guys didn't fill yours
Salute.
up with something?
Now that we got that out of the way, Vince Giannini, Brian Shaw, and Rick Fox, and all of the things that we said had to happen for the Clippers early in this game did not. The start of the game was critical. Brian, you mentioned that in our pregame, and it was one of those games, kind of scattershot, but in a controlled scattershot for Houston, while the Clippers, as Doc Rivers said, they were just playing too fast.
Playing too fast. It looks like the nerves got the best of them. They came out, kind of played sloppy in that first quarter, turned the ball over a lot, and that got Houston off to the start that they needed to get off to.
Yeah, it appeared from the jump that it was all downhill for Houston. The Rockets came in waves. They were composed. They were prepared mentally. It showed. And Clutch City might not have walked in the building from the 1990s, but these players for the Houston Rockets played clutch basketball today. Trevor Ariza, James Harden, Dwight Howard, they all, Josh Smith again, Corey Brewer, I can go down the list. Prigioni, oh my gosh. We'll have a little bit on Prigioni a little later here. Gave a spark in a big fashion. But the Clippers just, quite frankly, today did not deliver the same type of basketball we saw in the first 5 games from them. But the Houston Rockets, you got to give them credit. They had a lot to do with that, the way they played.
No question about it. Harden came out. I thought he set the tone early. Then when he did not score in the second quarter, Dwight Howard had a perfect second quarter, 5 for 5. He had 8 rebounds, and he also had 11 points in the second. So he was tough. He picked it up, a 10-point lead at the half. It was closed down to 3 in the third quarter. But like you said, Prigioni and then Harden, they opened that up again and never looked back.
Yeah, you know, and Howard had 2 early fouls in the game. He pleaded with Kevin McHale to keep him in the game. Kevin McHale got him out of the game, got him settled down. But all the role players for the Rockets did all the little things that, you know, as Rick alluded to with Prigioni, that matter, you know, and whereas the Clippers, in contrast, didn't have those same type of performances. And you don't have to have a great scoring effort, but, you know, you see here, you know, just stealing the ball on the inbounds, hitting hard, and it led to a basket. And Rick, you want to take this over because I know you talked about Prigioni this whole time.
Yeah, I thought he was a spark, and when effort and hustle and giving them extra possessions. Anytime you get extra possessions in a playoff game, especially in Game 7, that's awesome. And when I think of the way they got them sometimes, too, mental errors on the part of Blake Griffin, 2 inbound passes, stole the ball. But I'd rather celebrate the Houston Rockets than talk about what the Clippers didn't do, and I know we'll get to that because there's players like Prigioni, Josh Smith, man, he had a string of 3 plays in a row where he knocks down a 3, gets a block, then fouls DeAndre Jordan to make sure that he didn't get an easy basket. So they were just, you see it right here. Josh Smith, you know, we talk about his long twos, taking those 3s instead of long twos, and he's knocking them down again. And so he stayed on, you know, in rhythm from the Game 6. Putting him in the starting line was huge. Look at this block on Blake Griffin. Great defense on that end. And so he was getting to the front of the rim, off the dribble. Hey, look, he was what he needed to be. And that's, you know, Daryl Morley, you got to give him some credit. He brings in those 3 guys, Prigioni, Josh Smith, Corey Brewer, and they all paid dividends.
Yeah, but, you know, Kevin McHale's the guy that made it work. He's the guy that had to make sure that they put those guys in the stew, and it still was a pretty good cooking and good eating for everybody as well. We are going to break this game down, but I think we have to go back a couple of games when the LA Clippers are up 3-1 in this series, and it looked like completely Houston is dead in the water. You know, they were getting mauled. They had given up an average of 126 points in the 2 previous losses. Then they get it turned around. How did this thing flip? And what are the Clippers, what's running through their mind as maybe the moment? And we could go to Game 6. I mean, I'm talking about what was the moment maybe where they felt like, wow, this may be over.
Well, I think it was their looseness with the ball. You know, it started in Game 6. They had the lead. They took their foot off the pedal. They started to turn the ball over, which gave the momentum to Houston. They started to get more confident, and then it just snowballed from there. You know, and it carried over into this game on their home court. You know, where the pressure was on the Clippers to try to come in and steal one in Houston.
Houston was plus 10 in this game off of turnovers. That was a big problem, as you could see. And you know, getting back to Prigioni, Rick, in our pregame, we talked about how, yes, we spotlighted the stars for both of these teams, but both of you know as champions, you have to have those other guys step up. Those little surprises have to step up for you. For Cleveland, the other night, it was Matthew Dellavedova. Yeah. In this game, Prigioni's a guy that sparks them in that third.
He did more than spark them. We were talking about it. We can take a look at Prigioni in the moments in this game. A simple inbounds pass. You do this all season long, yet Prigioni gives them an extra possession, gets it in the hands of the right man who goes all the way in for a layup. It's that type of attention to detail. The ball's being inbounds. We've had this mistake already once in the game. You think you'd learn? Nope. Follow this all the way through here. Dumps it down to the big guy. What happens here, Brian, every time?
Hey, you double and
double down. That's not even a three. That's a deep three. And then he gets here. Ball goes up. He's rebounding now for you. Somebody's got to box him out. No one's going to pay attention to him. Goes right in there, gives him another possession. Trevor Ariza knocks down a three. These are all opportunities. Extra possessions. Gets his hand on a steal here, pushes in transition to James Harden again. Another layup. You're playing on your heels. If you're the Clippers, you're playing on your heels. And he gets another steal here, jumps the lane on Blake Griffin here.